Hustle culture has such a negative impact on my actual mental health. Burnout to the point of not wanting to get out the bed. I'm now in a space where I feel like I care more about preserving me. I want to make sure that I'm always in a good mental space. I feel like everyone is thinking that we're in a race. Somehow it's not just a journey for yourself. Somehow it became like a race to see who can do better at this, how fast can I get to this goal, how fast can I make this amount of money, how can I get to $1 million in 30 days, 6 figures in 20 days. Like, hey y'all, what's up? It's your girl Nye, and this is Slay the Renee Way, a place where passionate entrepreneurs can come to grow, glow, and succeed in their small businesses. So if that sounds like you, you're going to want to hit that subscribe button because your girl is dropping gem after gem after gem, getting a lot of new subscribers. So I want to go ahead and say, hey y'all, what's up? It's your new favorite boss babe, Nye. Thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. Let's go ahead and jump right into this video. I said recently that I was going to do a whole entire video covering why I personally believe that hustle culture is toxic. So go ahead and get yourself a cup of tea, whatever it is that you need to get comfortable. It's about to be a real kind of sit down chit chat and like just get some stuff off my mind with you guys and talk to you guys about why I think that hustle culture is actually ruining our productivities. So let's go ahead and get right into this video. I do want to talk to you guys about what hustle culture actually means, the definition, and why I don't think that hustle culture is the way to go anymore. So in short, essentially like this new mindset where it's heavily focused on intense productivity with little to no regard for self-care, rest, breaks, mental health. Anything that requires rest is against hustle culture. Hustle culture is like pushing yourself, working long hours, never taking a break, just basically working excessively. That's basically what hustle culture is. And I've noticed that hustle culture has become so increasingly popular over the last few years, especially after the pandemic, where it seemed like everyone was starting their own small business, or everyone had a side hustle, or everyone was into making money online some type of way, right? I just started to see how you have to work nonstop in order to see success. Like, those are the models that people are pushing. That's the narrative that we're seeing every time you see someone having a large amount of orders or a large amount of, subscribers, whatever the case may be. They will tell you, I got this because I work, no breaks, no days off, no time to rest, no self-care, no nothing. Like, we're not doing that, okay? We just scratched that out. We're not doing that. Social media pushed the idea that you have to be working nonstop in order to see any type of success. Or to be productive means you have to work long hours. And that is false, okay? So since this whole lifestyle has become so popular over the last few years, I have to tell you guys my personal experience because yes, hustle culture almost drained me, okay? I was one of the ones who was out there like, don't get no weekends off. You're going to work every single day. You don't have to take a break. Oh, you're hungry? Forget eating. Like, why would you eat and stop and take a break when you can continue doing X, Y, and Z? I was one of those people, and this is why I'm here to tell you guys, don't do that, okay? Jump out of the hustle culture bandwagon and live life on your terms. And to be real with y'all, the reason why I had to jump out of that hustle culture mindset for myself was because I noticed that my mental health just started to deteriorate. I noticed that, like I just said, I stopped eating. I might not have slept properly because why would you sleep when you could be packing these orders, or you could be working on another video, or whatever the case may be. My entrepreneur journey started off so quick. I mean, I really started a business, had no idea what to do or how I was doing anything really, other than the research that I did. Selling cosmetics was more just a passion. It was something that I wanted to do because I'm into skincare. I love helping women feel beautiful. I like making products for myself and my family at home. So I decided that I was going to jump into selling cosmetics as a business, okay? But what I didn't know is there are so many different roles that come with being your own boss, especially when you're working such a product heavy based business, So I noticed that like I was missing out on meals. I was not drinking properly. I hardly had a social life. I wouldn't do anything that sounded like it wasn't being productive is what I'm trying to say. I ultimately felt like if I wasn't working, then I'm not doing anything worth anything, so I just will continue to work. And being a Virgo, I don't know if anybody else can relate to this, but like work and service and like just being productive is something that really motivates me because I'm really big on just, I don't know, focusing. I'm really big on like hard work and dedication, perseverance. Like I love to see how my dedication to something turns into this fruitful product or this very successful project or goal or business. I love that. But I did not take into account that in order to see such success and so many different goals be accomplished, you have to have some sort of work-life balance. That's just period. Work-life balance. And that model was not being pushed at the time that I was really getting into my entrepreneur journey. Now that I've said all of that, I do want to let you guys know that I was one to be sucked up into it. So I'm trying to help you guys to get a better, more confident, more healthy mentality when it comes to running and operating your own business. Or even if you're working a 9-to-5 job, work-life balance goes for any and everyone who has a job of some sort. And if you're somebody who really, really, really likes to be productive like myself, I can tell you right now, guys, toxic productivity. And let me break down to y'all what that means. So basically, toxic productivity is where you feel like, pretty much what I've been saying this whole entire video, you feel like you have to be continuously working or operating something to see success or to see results in it. That's why it's called toxic productivity, because productivity is actually a more balanced type of work environment. So you'll be more inclined to lean into like burnout, fatigue, exhaustion. It will probably drain the creative flow that you have. It will take away the passion and the fun and the joy and the eagerness that you have to do something, because you're just working so much. You don't have any time for fun. And I'm going to have to keep reiterating how much I feel like the social media and social standards has played a huge role in this. I feel like everyone is thinking that we're in a race. Somehow it's not just a journey for yourself. Somehow it became like a race to see who can do better at this, how fast can I get to this goal, how fast can I make this amount of money, how can I get to $1 million in 30 days, 6 figures in 20 days. Like, I feel like it started to become more of a race, and that's where people are starting to not really track their own progress and their own like mental health and how things are affecting their daily life and what their world looks like. They're comparing and constantly comparing themselves to other people's lifestyles. And like I said, social media is just something that grows and becomes more popular. Like, these are the type of things and conversations that we should be having in a healthy environment, so that know that some of these pressures that you're putting on yourself are just thrown at you. Like, every time you log into an app and you start scrolling, you're literally consuming someone else's life. So sure, if you saw this business owner making 6 figures overnight, or she sold out overnight, whatever the case may be, you're looking at yourself and you're feeling like, oh man, I guess I'm not doing enough because I'm not seeing those same results. Instead of thinking, that is her journey and congratulations to her, like however it is that she was able to achieve that, kudos to her, but that's not my story, because I'm having this experience. This is my journey. This is what I want to do for my entrepreneurship. And it's not going to look the same as anyone else's. Everybody is different. Everybody is unique. And if you overwork yourself, you'll lead into burnout, which will lead into a failed business. So we have to avoid comparing ourselves to other people. No matter how hard it is, tell yourself, I am on my own path. She's on her own path. He's doing his own thing. We're all working to do something. We're all having some sort of goal that we want to get to. Her goal may be to get 6 figures in 30 days. And mine is to create generational wealth for my kids, for my family, which means that this growth that I'm looking for is going to take me a longer time, because I'm trying to be long term. Okay, I'm thinking about long term success, and some people just want a quick, 6 figures and I'm out. Like, I make my 6 figures and then I go live my life and do whatever it is I'm doing. So that's why I just want to stress that it's really important to not compare yourself to anybody or feel like you're not doing as much based on what someone else is doing, because what you're doing is meant for you, and if it wasn't meant for you, you just wouldn't be doing it. And basically what I just talked about explains why hustle culture is so glorified. It's because of social media. We've got TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, being constantly fed someone else's life and what someone else has going on. I don't know, it's easier said than done to like just ignore it and push it out, but it's real. You'll put pressure on yourself and make yourself feel like you're just not adequate enough, or you're not doing something right because you're looking at what someone else is doing. So we got to take that into consideration, that it's not all our fault that we feel like we have to work to see success. We have a lot of outside influences that are contributing to that. So how do you minimize those outside influences, and what is a healthy work-life balance? People are basically pushing themselves to the limit to succeed. And I'm going to continue to use myself as an example, because what happened to me was something that I don't wish on anyone. I really feel like I pushed myself so hard to see a certain amount of success, or I was just trying to prove to myself that I could do this, like I could run a business, I could be successful, I could provide for my daughter, I could take this seriously enough to where this could become my livelihood, and this could become something that actually helps me fuel my other creative passions and my other business ventures. Because for myself as an entrepreneur, I just feel so multifaceted. I feel like as much as I want to stay dedicated to one task or to one type of business, I know that for the rest of my entrepreneurship journey, I'm going to continue running multiple at a time or several different businesses under myself, okay? I know that I'm one to want to dabble in everything. I feel like I have passions for all of it, and it's just, I don't know, something tells me that I can do it all, so I'm at least try to do it all. But what happened to my mental health was not something pretty. Hustle culture has such a negative impact on my actual mental health, to the point of I felt like I had certain anxieties. I just wasn't as happy after a certain point in time. I felt extreme burnout. Burnout to the point of not wanting to get out the bed. Every time I received an order, I started to feel like, I can't even explain because it will sound ungrateful to say like not happy. I was grateful for every single order, but I could just feel every time I heard the cha-ching, 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 just felt like work, 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 do this, do that. Like my brain would not slow down. My body could not catch up to the amount of work that I was putting in, not getting the proper amount of rest, not drinking enough water. I had a terrible diet. I mean, I hardly even ate most days. You were supposed to eat 3 square meals a day. Your girl was going days without eating even one. Okay, I might have a cracker or two or a piece of fruit, but no meals, like no full meals. Missing out on time with my social life. There were so many work-related stresses that I felt like I couldn't cut out, because the second you cut out one of those stresses, it means minimizing your productivity. It means, okay, well, you can only work Monday through Friday now, because on Saturday and Sunday, you want to have a weekend. You want to actually have time to enjoy with your family, with your friends, go outside, get some air. Nope, I didn't have any of those thoughts. I thought that if I lost a day of work, I'm losing a day of money, which is true. But there should be an adequate amount of work hours that you have that are more productive so that you can lessen them. We actually don't have to work 8 to 5 every day. Even in the big companies and larger corporations, working 8 to 5, I feel like personally, this is me personally, I feel like if we all worked 4 to 5 consistent, focused, efficient, and very limited distraction work hours, we could actually get done a lot more things. We could actually be more productive in a way where the task that you're spending 8 hours to do could get done in half if you actually were working efficiently and like not having as many distractions. So same thing with like school. I personally believe that being in school from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. in the afternoon, that is way too long for anybody, for a child, for even a 16, 17, 18-year-old. I feel like that's too long. But that's just part of me believing in the fact that you work less hours, but you're more productive within those hours. I call them my power hours. It's something where I'm like, I'm working for this increment of time, but I'm only going to work. I'm not on my social media. I'm not on my phone, my computer, barely even socializing in the house. I'm locking myself in this space and I'm focused, okay? I'm getting it all done. But that's 4 hours. We have 24 hours in a day. Most of us are used to working 8 hours a day, then having maybe 2 hours to be with our kids and then sleep. That's not really a good work-life balance. That's not any area there's no room to live. There's no room to enjoy. There's hardly any room to get adequate amount of sleep, especially if you have children, and it's a lot. And I truly don't want to see anybody have to go through that. So now I'm about to get into how to break free from the hustle culture mindset. So breaking free from hustle culture does seem like, how will I do that? But it's actually very possible, especially if you're willing to commit to changing your mindset and creating healthier habits. Because the more that you do something, the better that you will become at it, and it will become more effortless in whatever it is that habit or that routine that you're trying to build. First of all, the biggest part of breaking free from hustle culture is just simply caring about yourself. Like, if you care about yourself enough and you don't want to see yourself depleted at the end of every day, then this is a good time for you to say, okay, that hustle culture is a little toxic over there. I'm not participating in that. And that's me right now. I'm now in a space where I feel like I care more about preserving me. I want to make sure that I'm always in a good mental space, and that way I can show up my best self and get the best productivity, get the best success. I can see more results actually, because my work-life balance is on point, okay? So you basically have to be willing to create sustainable habits and shift your mindset from thinking that success equals hard work all the time, because it does not. The first thing that I had to learn was how to set healthy boundaries. And this is something that carried over from my entrepreneurship journey and from my business world to my personal life. So I'm feeling like I'm actually learning to do the both at the same time, which is really good for me. It's a part of a goal that I've had for myself, just to know how to set a boundary and stand on it. That's just your boundary, and this is how you're going to respect it, period. So anyways, just having boundaries is essential for protecting your mental health in all different type of ways. Like I was just saying earlier, this is going to mean like setting different times for when you're going to work. So say you know that Mondays are a really busy day for you, right? You got to take your kids to school. You have a gym class at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but then you also want to have dinner cooked by 5 and you want to be in bed by 9, okay? Those are different hours that you have to follow, because these are things in your day that have like a time obligation. But you're also an entrepreneur, so you want to have specific dedicated hours to where you're only working. And you're getting whatever those 3 things that you must get done. I call these like a top 3. Whatever those top 3 things that you have to get done that day, you're only trying to focus on getting those 3 things done everything else can carry over into the next day. And normally my like power hours are between 12 p.m. and 4 p.m. but sometimes it's a little earlier. Some days I can do 9 to 1, some days I do 8 to 12. It just really depends on the day. I try to also be flexible so that I don't feel so rigid in my schedule, because while having a routine is important, you do want to be able to allow for like the flexibility. You want to be able to flow if something doesn't go according to schedule or whatever the case may be. You won't feel like your day is like knocked all off track. I just had an incident like this on this past Friday. Long story short, I was supposed to have my April reset vlog up on Friday. Things did not turn out that way. I had an incident at home that I had to take care of. Things happened where I had to like adjust my scheduling and like be okay with that. So basically be flexible, but know how to set healthy boundaries and stick to them. The second important thing that you want to do to maintain productivity and break away from hustle culture is to set breaks. Taking regular breaks is going to reduce your stress levels. It's going to make sure that you stay motivated during the day, that you still have that same interest in whatever it is that you're working on. So say that I've set my power hours from 12 to 4. I need to get better at this, but I'm working on trying to make sure that I at least will get up for at least 15 to 20 or 30 minutes and like go for a walk around the house. Go step outside and get some air. You know, take a break for lunch. Stretch my legs. I'll sometimes do a meditation in between where I'm having like a break. Just basically something to like recalibrate your entire energy, get your blood flowing again. If you've been sitting at your computer for hours and hours and hours, this would be a good time to stretch. You know, take a break, go get some water, get some air, things like that. So taking breaks is healthy, you guys. It's not going to minimize the productivity because you have power hours. But in order to power through those hours, you need a break, girl. Take a break, okay? Take a break. So following that, we also want to prioritize self-care. Self-care looks different for everyone. Whatever you feel like makes you feel good. It could be anything simple. It doesn't have to look like what everyone else categorizes self-care as. Self-care is for self. So think about the things that you do that make you feel most fulfilled or most happy or most calm or relaxed. This is just so important to maintain good mental health, you guys. I can't tell you how many times I've had to really remind myself, okay, now like get your sketchbook out, like start drawing something, start painting something, go watch your favorite childhood TV shows. What else is it that like anything that makes me feel self-care for me is anything that can take my mind off of whatever the task is that I have at hand. There's like always something I'm working on, like all the time. For me, my self-care just looks like, what can I do that's going to distract me for a long enough period of time to where I'm not thinking so much. So that might be coloring, doing a crossword puzzle, writing, drawing, stretching, dancing, listening to music. I love listening to music. All these different things will get me out of my work mentality and back into taking care of Nye. Something else that's really good to do is like get some exercise. Like if you do yoga, which I love doing yoga, running, walking, or just like spending time with your friends and family. If that's what self-care looks like you, is like being surrounded by people that you love. This is a good time where you take a day out the week and you just like, I'm having a day. I work Monday through Friday, but Saturday is just for me and my kid, and Sunday is just for me and my family. Like everything else can wait. And then, you know, you'll feel rejuvenated. You won't feel like dreadful about doing your work for the next day. So 2023 is definitely going to be a big year of like growth, and your mindset is going to be shifting from toxic productivity to actual productivity. I do have a video over here where I'm telling you guys about what I do to be the most productive in my day. So I'll go ahead and include a card for that video if you want to check that out. Comment down below and let me know what are you guys' thoughts on hustle culture and how has hustle culture affected you, if it has or if it hasn't. Just let me know your experience. If you like this video, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, you guys, and turn on your post notifications so you don't miss when I drop into the gym. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in Friday's video. Love you guys. Peace.